To call you through this second heat of the fourth round, and it's a solid one. Adrian Buchan, the veteran out there in this lineup, will be in the red jersey as the top seed, going up against the exciting rookie Griffin Colapinto, who's been doing some remarkable surfing in 2018. And Mikey Wright, the wild card. And Mikey getting a quick start here, tucking into the barrel. And you just know that he has competitive fire that always gets him into waves pretty early in a championship tour heat, but unable to capitalise. Same with Adrian Buchan.
And it looks like Griffin was in the mix as well on this exchange. Let's see if he can get anything better, but pretty simple note there on the beginning of this heat.
Does it give you confidence knowing that you can get excellent scores either way?
Yeah, it's going to be a different story now since I broke my favorite board of pretty much all time. So I don't know, like it's pumping, man. I feel like if anybody got my waves, they would have scored maybe higher than I did.
A replay of Griffin Colapinto's wave just before, gets himself under the hood, breaks through that with a little bit of spit, and then comes out and lip line slides the tail up over the top and then finishes quickly on the inside with a nice confident move right there, but holding wall to get himself deep, uses that hand to stall. Not an easy one to come out of, but this turn right there, I like the way that he used that lip line. I don't know if you caught the end of that, but of all time is a big deal. Here's ace on a wave.
Well, all three competitors in this heat didn't really get much out of that first exchange. Low scores, but all making up for it on their second efforts. And that's something that Adrian Buchan is really capable of. Mistake-free surfing, always surfs very tight to the bowl. And it's seen him go on to some big finishes this year.
Push his fins out the back there for progression. And then we move to ace. Does well to get up into the lip. This one to transition from the lip line slam.
See if Mikey can kind of find some room in this wave.
It is so smooth out there at the moment, so the surfers have a lot of freedom. Mikey throwing everything at that first section, scores in for the last wave of Adrian Buchan, a 7-point ride, the highest of this heat so far. Griffin Colapinto had a 6.5. And ace, he did get the nod from the priority judge ahead of Griffin, so he's up once again. Blitzes the first section, up into the pocket again, mixing up his approach with the backhand carve. Gets the board over the lip for that last turn, but as we've seen all day, that last foamy section's really hard to ride out of.
Ride on it and come out of it's really hard. The first turn on this wave, straight off the bottom into the lip line, so pretty textbook for him. And this one, nice carve down into the bowl, best turn of the wave, and tries to go for the lip line there. Colapinto.
Live action, Griffin locked in, out onto the open face now. Big roundhouse cutback, drawing inspiration from his teammate Joel Parkinson, a move he's been working on. Said on his Instagram just yesterday, a recent post, that he always tries to emulate Joel, but he's going to go start looking for the rebound on those cutbacks. So far, it's a close battle between Adrian Buchan and Griffin Colapinto. Not much in each of their scoring rides.
So this tube, the score is not going to go crazy, and it's because he had to slow down so much off the get-go, and did well to do the redirect on the face turn there, but I'm not looking at that one as a keeper. You know, he had to really try to stall into that. If he could have come and kind of gone through it. The cutback smooth, but never really connected on the rebound up into the lip where you wanted to put the board, and then he finished on the inside, but pretty standard, and where you've seen a lot of dynamics and fire where it's opponent ace.
Mikey Wright looking to get himself in this heat. He's had a couple of falls to kick this one off, but he can light up at any time. He's going to do it right here. Nice big carve. This is the man that dropped the Jeep leader coming into this event out of the contest, Julian Wilson. And that'll be his best way.
Here's a replay. Mikey takes off, grabs the wall, finds a little bit of cover. Not much on the tube, though, so he's got to go to the rail, do some work on the open face to try and stack up some numbers. He's pretty much playing catch-up at this point, but this will be his best wave of the heat. I don't think that's going to be into like a keeper for him, but it's a great way to get a roll started because he hasn't had one so far coming into this. But great form, and come into that corner. Sticks a little bit. He'll have to turn it up a little bit more to get himself fired up.
Griffin Colapinto, and this is a man whose form's truly been on show. It just seems like he can go for anything he wants to at this point in time, and has a pretty good shot at making a big slice to kick this one off.
And now Mikey's out the back waiting with priority. Colapinto, this turn vicious. Comes out with a little progression on slide, speed, looking down the line, but you know what? It kind of got away from him. There was no ramp.
A ramp down the line, didn't find it. Buchan just biding his time off the bottom there. Got a little sticky and didn't quite tee off on that one the way he would have liked.
Well, that worked out for Mikey Wright, huh?
Big time.
Almost loading up, waiting for it. A quick down the line, lateral turn for ace, and then late to the party for the finish. Not going to be up into his top two. He's going to go back out and reset. Response to, what do you want to do, you know, on tour? We'll get back to my point after this one, Ron.
Mikey Wright fading the takeoff on this one. Beautiful looking barrel. He's deep inside. But that one just chews him up, and he doesn't find his way through.
Tiny bit greedy there on the end. That's going to hurt, man. Mikey's so frothed out right now to get that barrel and just couldn't push through that.
12 minutes to go. Griffin needs a 6. Adrian Buchan still holding onto the lead. Mikey Wright in third priority. Chasing down a 7-4 to get out of third position. And there was a reason why those surfers with priority didn't take that wave. Didn't have a lot of wall.
Got to catch that wave. Sitting out there with priority, I think he's got a good chance at it.
Well, Adrian Buchan passing this one up, so same as Griffin. So Mikey has to pull the trigger. He gets into this one. Solid surfing on this wave, and that's what we want to see from him. Just a bit more speed going into those turns. Avoiding that grab rail carve, showing us his variety, but unfortunately just falling at the end of that ride. But
that first turn, he belted it. This is going to match up to being one of the better waves of the heat, I think. I mean, he absolutely attacked that thing. Off the end there, he had that little bobble, but watch this. Comes in, draws off the bottom, and goes straight up into it. Bang, right? Comes around that corner. Beautiful sweep into the power pocket. Then this down carve right here, drops the wallet. Beautiful surfing right there. 3 really great turns. The rest of the wave gets, you know, this is just what happens off the end here. I don't know what they're going to do with the score because of it, but look at the technique off the bottom into a really vertical section on the forehand. Really hard to come out of that with speed, but gets out in front of the lip, puts the board up into it, then pushes out in front of it. So it's not an easy thing to do. Great rail to fin right there, and then this turn, I really like it. Puts both hands back in the water as he comes out of it. Look at this. Raw, puts his hands back like that. One hand actually, but the other hand was behind him, and that's putting a lot of weight on that rail. It's going to be really fun to watch this score drop in. Now Ace is going to have to try to protect his second place spot. He's going to try and better his run.
Needs a 5.71 to get back up into first, and gets that first turn wrong and goes down.
God, what happened? I got to get on one.
Well, here he is. Griffin Colapinto loading up. This could be good. Up into the pocket. Beautiful slice. Drawing it right back into the bowl. Good for the reverse. Rides on out of that. Has more room. He's going to load up again. Hits the end section.
Really fun to watch Griffin. A lot of speed. Comes into this thing. Throws in the rail and the tail. Beautiful sweep. Throws the air. Comes out of it. A little bumpy, but hey, got the job done, and then comes to the inside, finishes with a little tail slide. But authority comes out of it, looks back. I like it. This turn right here, so much speed. Raw off that tail into the rail, and the form that was held throughout that with the shoulders back into it, I feel like where's all the meat of this score is going to come out, and this is going to be an interesting one as it winds down. We've only got 45 seconds left.
And tries to make sure he rides on out of that one. Mikey Wright out the back. He's up again. Now looking to get rid of a 5.1 to better his heat score total.
This is going to be interesting. We got 2 minutes left. I feel like Colapinto is going to take over Ace's position. Drops in. A lot of speed straight up into the bowl. Throws the tail out. Beautiful. Definitely going to better the score with that. Wow, really pushing the limits that he has. And we talked about stepping up. Drops it on the inside.
But in this heat, he's showing us that he's in great form. The hooter about to sound. And Adrian Buchan didn't get to his feet in time. Mikey Rice has put away an 8.2 for that last ride. Griffin Colapinto, he had himself a 7.23. And Griffin and Mikey will make the jump into the quarterfinals here. A great heat.